Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Donovan, and today we're going to take a look at the TicPods free. So stay tuned. Let's turn the camera around and let's get this party started. All right, so before I get into the actual review portion of this video, I want to go ahead and talk about the price point, because obviously that's going to be an important decision or important factor in helping you determine whether you want to pick these up or not. So as you can see, they're available on Amazon.com, so I'll leave links down in the description, also in the pinned comment at the top. But you can see they're available for $130. That's in ice, lava, and navy. But then also notice that there is a $30 off coupon. That is an automatic coupon that you can go ahead and click, and that's going to bring the price point down to $100. Now, I believe that coupon is going to be available until December 25th. Don't quote me on that because I haven't heard that from the higher ups, but I do know that at least right now you can pick them up for $100. And for $100, I think they're pretty awesome because of all the features that these things happen to offer. So let's go ahead and talk about those features now. Alright, so now I want to go ahead and talk about some of the features that set the TicPods free apart from other true wireless options available out there right now, and that is the fact that despite not having any physical buttons on either of the earbuds, we do have the option of some touch-sensitive controls, which is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate those with the Google Pixel 3 XL that I have here, and first thing I want to show you is the in-ear detection. So as soon as I pull one out, notice that it went ahead and paused my music, and if I put it back in, it will go ahead and play the music again because it detects that it's in my ear. That's really cool. That's a great feature to have. So like, let's say someone comes up to you and starts talking to you, you can go ahead and just pull the earbud out and you can start talking to them without having the music interrupt you. So that's cool. That's feature number one. The second one is the volume control, and that's just simply a slide up and down, which is really, really useful. And that works really well. Now I actually held it down too long because it actually went to Google Assistant there. So I'll go ahead and show you that in just a second. But the volume up and down is simply just a slide up or down, and it works really well. So that's the second one. The third one is double tapping. So if I double tap on the right earbud, it'll go ahead and go to the next track. If I double tap on the left earbud, same thing. It'll go to the next track. So there is no track backward option. There's only track forward, and both earbuds are track earbud with a double, or track forward with a double tap. And then the last feature I want to show you is what happens if you hold it for 2 seconds. So if I hold it for 2 seconds here, it went ahead and paused the music, and if I go ahead and do it again, it's going to play the music again. And then on the right earbud, so that's the left earbud, is play pause, holding it for 2 seconds. On the right earbud, if I hold it for 2 seconds, it'll bring up Google Assistant or Siri. What was the score of the Michigan basketball game today? All right, so you can see that that works really well also. So Google Assistant, Siri, whatever assistant your phone uses, it'll go ahead and work with either of those. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk about the design of the TicPods free. So you can see here the charging case that they come with. This is the actual TicPod, and we'll take a little bit closer look to that in just a second. But you can see here inside the charging case, there's a couple of pins that are going to connect up to these little contact points there, and that's how they're going to charge up. And there's really no way to mess up how they go in there, so they're going to charge up as soon as you put them in there. They do also magnetize, so that's nice, so that you don't have to worry about them falling out. So I can shake them, nothing's going to happen. And this case also does magnetize, so it has a pretty strong magnet there, so you don't have to worry about it accidentally opening up, so it can shake it. Nothing's going to happen there. So that's great. You don't have to worry about it, accidentally dropping some of your TicPods, so that's good. But then in terms of size of the case, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Next to my AirPod case, so you can see it's definitely a little bit bigger, but still very manageable in terms of the size. And then here it is next to my mouse, in case you want to know how large it is, just to give you kind of an idea of the size. And then with the AirPods themselves, or the TicPods I should say, next to an AirPod, you can see in terms of design, the TicPods are definitely a little bit bigger. In my opinion, that's actually a good thing. Both of these are very light. You're not going to really notice them in your ear. The AirPods you hardly notice at all. And in fact, sometimes I forget they're even in my ear. I have no problem running with these, so let me just mention that. So I can run with these with no problems at all. Same thing here, I don't have to worry about these falling out of my ear because they sit so nicely inside of the ear canal. And then you can see they come with a couple of different size silicone tips, so this is just the size I use. I do wish they came with a little bit bigger one, honestly, because then you can get more noise isolation. Whereas with the AirPods, obviously, they're just kind of sitting inside your ear. You get almost no noise isolation from the AirPods, so that could be a good thing, bad thing, depending on your environment. So for me personally, if I'm running on a treadmill, the AirPods aren't the greatest option, or if I'm mowing the lawn, these aren't a very good option because of all the ambient noise or all the outside noise. The TicPods Free are great for those situations because they're going to block out a lot more noise because of the fact that they sit a lot deeper into your ear canal. So, in terms of design, I think I actually prefer the TicPod Free. Number one, they fit a little bit more securely in my ear, but then also because of that noise isolation you get from them as well. All right, so now it's time to talk about probably the most important thing of any true wireless earbud, and that is how do they sound. So when I initially paired these up with my Google Pixel 3 XL, my initial impression was that they sound absolutely fantastic. So I was ready to give these like a 9 out of 10 in terms of sound signature. But before I rush to judgment, I want to go ahead and compare them up to a couple of pairs that I would consider the gold standard of true wireless earbuds in terms of the sound quality. So the Jabra Elite Active 65Ts and also the TrebLab X5s. So those for me are the gold standard, and I would say those are like a 9.5 to a 9 out of 10. Whereas after listening to those and then listening to the TicPods Free, I had to downgrade these to more like an 8 out of 10. So still very, very good sound signature. The difference between something like the TrebLab X5s and the TicPods Free, these have a little bit more of a full sound, whereas the TicPods Free have just a little bit more of a thin sound, so it's not as rich of a sound quality. Still very, very good. 8 out of 10 is still very good, and I think 99% of the population that aren't audiophiles are going to find these to be very good until you compare them up to something that's great. Which, like I said, the Jabra Elite Active 65Ts, I would say, are great sound signature, and that's because they have a little bit more bass, a little bit more full sound, but the TicPods Free overall, still, in my opinion, if these were the only things I was listening to, they sound fantastic. All right, so now it's time to talk about another very important area when it comes to true wireless earbuds, and that is the connectivity. So there's two areas, of course, that are important when it comes to connectivity. Number one is how well do they stay connected to each other, and I'm happy to say that in the time that I've been using the TicPods Free, which has been about 2 weeks now, they have not disconnected from each other at any point, so that is a huge thumbs up because that can be an issue. Now, that was actually surprising because these are using a little bit older version of Bluetooth, so they're using Bluetooth 4.2. Now, a lot of the newest earbuds are using Bluetooth 5.0, but even with Bluetooth 4.2, connectivity has been phenomenal between the two earbuds. And then the second area is connectivity to your device. So that is another area where these things absolutely shine. So in terms of staying connected up to my Google Pixel 3 XL, I've used them with my iPhone XS Max. In all cases, no matter what phone I've used them with, their range is still very good. So I would say roughly around 30 meters. If you're in an area, like when I went to the gym, I could actually walk closer, like 50 meters away, because there was no obstruction, nothing in between me and the phone and my TicPods, and I was able to get about 50 meters away. So connectivity is absolutely phenomenal. No concerns there whatsoever. All right, so now it's time to talk about the all-important battery life of the TicPods Free. So nothing is more frustrating than having a fantastic pair of true wireless earbuds, but then having terrible battery life, and I'm happy to say that that is not the case with the TicPods Free. So you can see here that Mobvoi claims 18 hours of battery life and fast charging, and somewhere over here we can see that the battery on the actual earbuds themselves is 85 milliamp hours, and then the charging case is a 700 milliamp hour charging case. And that combines to me, for what my usage has been, I'm getting about 5 to 6 hours of battery life on a single charge in the charging case, and to get a charge from 0 to 100% in the case, about 30 minutes, which is really great. It's not the fastest charging, and let's be real here, the AirPods can charge in about 15 minutes from 0 to 100, so it's about double the time it takes an AirPod to fully charge, whereas the average true wireless earbud is about an hour. So this is about half the time of a average true wireless earbud to charge up, so that's really great. But then also really superb battery life, and about 2 to 3 full charges you're going to get out of the charging case. So overall battery life is definitely 2 thumbs up for me on the TicPods Free. All right, so we're going to wrap up this review with a talk about the phone call quality of the TicPods Free, and you probably notice here that I have 3 other pair of true wireless earbuds in the background. A couple of them we've already talked about, the Jabra Elite Active 65Ts. For me, these are the gold standard when it comes to call quality on true wireless earbuds. Also, the Apple AirPods, still very good for phone calls. And then over here, a pair that I have not reviewed yet. These are the Anker Soundcore Liberty Lights? No, Liberty Airs. These are Liberty Airs, and those are absolutely fantastic for phone calls. And I'm happy to say that a fourth pair that I can use for phone calls in my office setting is the TicPods Free. So I work in a very noisy environment. At any given time, there can be 5 to 6 people talking around me, and the TicPods Free, I'm happy to say, are great for phone calls, even in that noisy environment. So they have microphones on both earbuds, and so as a result, they're going to block out some of that ambient noise going on around you, so that's good. Not everything, they're not going to block out everything, but they do block out most ambient noise going on around you for the other person. So when they're listening to you, they are going to hear you and not everything going on around you. So that's awesome. But then also you're going to get call audio through both ears. So I'm going to give them like a 9.5 out of 10 when it comes to call quality. Not perfect, but still very, very good. And overall, I just think the TicPods Free are a fantastic option, especially if you're looking for some that are great for phone calls. They're also good for sound quality, good battery life. There really is no major negative when it comes to the TicPods Free. And for $100, they're definitely a pair I would consider picking up. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!